He didn't even have shoes to play football. He was so poor, he shared a room with his siblings and sometimes went to bed hungry. But today, he's one of the richest athletes in the world. This is not just the story of a football player. This is the journey of a boy who refused to give up. The story of Cristiano Ronaldo. From streets with no spotlight to stadiums that echo his name. This is the rise of a legend carved out of pain, passion, and pure will. Cristiano Ronaldo dos Santos Aveiro was born on February 5, 1985, on a small island called Madeira, Portugal. His family was poor. His father, José Diniz Aveiro, worked as a gardener. His mother, Maria Dolores dos Santos, was a cook. They lived in a tiny house in a working-class neighborhood where every day was a struggle. Ronaldo was the youngest of 4 children, and life was not easy. He didn't grow up with toys or luxuries. But what he did have was a ball, a spark in his heart, and a dream bigger than the island he was born on. He later said, "I had nothing, no toys, no luxury, but I had a ball and a dream." From the moment he could walk, Cristiano Ronaldo didn't just play football, he lived it. While most kids kicked the ball around for fun, Ronaldo chased it like his future depended on every touch. In the narrow streets of Madeira, barefoot and focused, he practiced for hours, day or night, rain or shine. There were days he skipped meals, but never skipped training. He wasn't the biggest, he wasn't the strongest, but his hunger was unmatched. Every kick, every sprint, every drop of sweat was a step towards something greater. By the age of 12, his talent had become impossible to ignore. Local coaches were stunned. Scouts started whispering his name. That's when his family, especially his mother, Maria Dolores, made the hardest decision of their lives. They would send their little boy all alone to Lisbon, hundreds of miles away from home, a city he had never seen, a place where he knew no one. When the day came, he cried silently at the airport. His mother tried to smile, but tears betrayed her strength. His father stood still, hiding his emotions behind tired eyes. It wasn't just a goodbye, it was a sacrifice, a risk, a leap of faith into the unknown. But Ronaldo knew this wasn't just about football. This was the only way to escape poverty, to change his future, and rewrite his family's story forever. In Lisbon, life hit him hard. He was just 12 years old, in a new city, far from home, surrounded by strangers. He had no friends, no family, just a football, and his will to survive. His Madeira accent made him stand out, and not in a good way. The other boys mocked the way he spoke. Some bullied him, called him names, made him feel like he didn't belong. At night, he would lie in his dorm bed, staring at the ceiling, missing his mother's cooking, his father's quiet strength, the warmth of his siblings. He once picked up the phone, his voice trembling, and said, "Mom, I want to come back." On the other end, his mother held back tears and said, "Cristiano, you have to stay. One day you'll make us proud." And so, he stayed. But he didn't just stay, he transformed. He trained harder than anyone else. He played with weights strapped to his legs just to get faster. He did 300 sit-ups every single day. He trained until his muscles burned and his legs gave out. This wasn't just passion anymore. This was something else. This was obsession. A burning fire to prove every bully wrong, to make every tear his mother cried worth it. By the time he was 16, Cristiano Ronaldo was no longer just another academy kid. He was faster than the rest, sharper, hungrier. Coaches at Sporting Lisbon couldn't believe what they were witnessing. A teenager with the speed of a sprinter, the vision of a veteran, and the fire of a warrior. Every touch of the ball was electric. Every match felt like a glimpse into the future. And then, in 2003, that future arrived. Sporting Lisbon was scheduled to play a friendly match against one of the biggest clubs in the world, Manchester United. The stadium lights burned bright that night, but Ronaldo, he burned brighter. He tore through United's defense like it was paper. With blazing speed, step-overs that left defenders frozen, and confidence beyond his years, he dominated the pitch. On the sidelines, Sir Alex Ferguson, the legendary Manchester United manager, watched closely. And in just 90 minutes, he saw what others had overlooked. This wasn't just talent. This was once-in-a-generation firepower. Just days later, Manchester United signed the 18-year-old Portuguese prodigy for £12 million. It was a record-breaking transfer for a teenager. And just like that, the skinny boy from Madeira was now wearing the red of Manchester. The world had no idea what was coming next. When Cristiano Ronaldo arrived at Manchester United, he wasn't just joining a club, he was stepping into the shadow of legends. He was handed the iconic number 7 jersey, a shirt once worn by George Best, Eric Cantona, and David Beckham. Wearing it wasn't an honor, it was a responsibility, and the pressure, unbearable for most. But not for Ronaldo. Instead of crumbling, he rose. He trained longer than anyone else. He stayed behind after every session, taking hundreds of shots, mastering free kicks, perfecting his footwork. He studied the game like an obsession. He worked on his speed, his strength, his endurance. He transformed his body from a skinny teenager into a footballing machine. He transformed his game from a flashy winger into a ruthless goal scorer. And then, the results followed. He led Manchester United to 3 consecutive Premier League titles. He helped them conquer Europe by winning the UEFA Champions League in 2008. And that same year, he reached the pinnacle. He was crowned the Ballon d'Or winner, the best footballer in the world. But for Ronaldo, that wasn't the end of the story. It was just the beginning. In 2009, Real Madrid bought Ronaldo for a world record $131 million. And at Madrid, he became a machine. 450 goals in 438 games, 4 more Ballon d'Or, 4 Champions League trophies. But beyond the stats, it was the mindset. I'm not talented, I'm obsessed. Ronaldo. While others celebrated, he trained. While others partied, he practiced. He refused to settle. That's why, even in his 30s, when most players retire, he was breaking records. Behind the fame, Ronaldo never forgot his roots. He once said, "I grew up with nothing. That's why I help others today." He built hospitals, donated millions. Cristiano Ronaldo's story isn't just about football. It's about believing in yourself when no one else does. It's about discipline, sacrifice, and unstoppable will. From a small room in Madeira to the biggest stadiums on earth. From poverty and pain to purpose and power. He's not just a footballer. He's a symbol of what's possible. The world sees his goals, his cars, his fame. But what they don't see is the boy who played barefoot in the streets. The child who cried alone in Lisbon. The young man who trained when no one was watching. That's Cristiano Ronaldo. And that's why he's not just great, he's legendary. If this story inspired you, share it. Let others know that no dream is too big and no struggle is too small. Comment below, what would you tell Ronaldo if you met him today? Like, subscribe, share, and turn pain into power, just like CR7.